Welcome to Wintergatan Wednesdays. Today we're going to make the final version of this, the programming plates. So me and Marius have been working together on this new design. We have changed the style of programming pins and we have also changed a lot of things. But before going into all that, we're gonna start by making the under section, these plywood parts. So what we're gonna do now is that we're going to home the machine. So I'm pressing ref all home, and then the machine is gonna feel its sensors. So now it went for this sensor. Now it's gonna go down here to a sensor out of the camera view. And finally it's gonna reach another sensor out of the camera view. So now the machine knows where it is. So this is my brand new 6mm spiral down cutter that we're gonna use today. Now I can press Control and I can go down by 0.01mm. You see how it creeps close to the surface? There we're touching. I'm gonna zero the C, 0. So now the machine knows where we want our parts to be cut. Now when we have a new tool in, we need to tell the machine again where the work surface is, because this tool has another height than the previous tool, obviously. And I'm just scraping the surface there. 0. So this is the first cut ever with this brand new tool bit. I'm really excited to see the finish of the cut. Well done, Martin. I forgot to change the G code. I was so excited I still had the drilling operation. Let's run again and the correct program this time. This looks like my best cut ever. So here you can see the taps. Here, here, here and here. So things that holds the pieces in place while it's cutting. Here, have a look at this cut quality. Absolutely fantastic. So this is really nice. It's from a new company. It's called a combined mallet brush. So you have a wooden mallet and a steel brush all in one tool. This is Mario's design. I love it. One screw goes like that and the other screw goes like that. And they're both registering, so there's no guessing on how to get the parts together. And I'm going to go a little bit overkill to try to really maintain this, what I see right now, perfect fit. So I'm going to be very careful when pilot drilling these screw holes. Because even if there's a perfect fit now, when this screw grabs into this wood without the correct pilot drill holes, it will pull the wood pieces in unexpected directions. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use the same drill bit and countersink to make a little notch in the receiving piece first. That should be exactly on center. So now we have a little starting notch in the receiving piece. And now this drill will be centered by the tip of this drill. That's my theory, anyway. Well, I think I want to show you that I actually can assemble things with a little higher finish. So this drill I'm showing you here is 1 millimeter. Since a cutter like this cuts a circle, you have to cut away this material here. Otherwise, when it goes into the corner, you would have something that looks like this. So for this piece to go all the way into this corner, we have to cut this out, and that's called the dog bone. Real woodworkers always put water on their wood to show off their joints. I never put water on plywood because it doesn't have nice grains like that. So this looks okay, and these are made from 18mm plywood, so I'm going to change this to a 15mm plywood now to machine the crossbars. So we have our 15mm pieces cut. Let's see how it all fits together. There we go. This is what I love with CNC designs. You can make the pieces puzzle like this. No screw, no glue. I need some mallet brush here. The programming section is a sandwich with 3 layers. In the bottom we have this plywood skeleton, in the middle we have this thin metal sheet, and on top of that later we're going to have a machined 10mm thick plastic sheet. And right away we discovered something really bad. We had ordered these metal sheets cut to size, but we have used the wrong radius, so they're actually too long. They don't fit. I think I can save them, but that was a little bump in the road. I was so happy with these laser cut metal sheets to size, and then we just used the wrong measurements. And what I'm starting on here is the brain tissue of the Marble Machine X, the place where the music programming is programmed. And the design process behind this has been a long evolution, and I hardly know where to start, how to tell you about this process. So I'm going to divide it like this. In this video, I'm just going to put together the first section so you see how it goes together physically. And in upcoming videos, I'm going to go more in depth on the design choices and how it actually works. But as I said before, there's 20,000 holes. They all need to be in perfect relationship to each other to make the music tight. The program sections needs to be removable from the Marble Machine X so we can switch between 2 songs fast during a live concert. And there's a lot of these kind of design requirements that is just quite contradictory. And in the end, I think we have come up with something really great. So on this pattern, we have straight notes, 16 notes, and also triplets. So if you remember when I talked about the triplet pattern and having waltz songs ending up evenly on the triplet pattern, all that is included. So here I'm machining the first brain tissue, and machining time was first 48 hours, but then we did some optimization of the tool paths and got it down to like 10 hours, but then I had some other stuff to do, so I needed to do it over 2 days. So this surface is the back side. We're machining from the back side, so I'm very curious to see the front side. It's gonna be a lot of sawdust, perhaps. Oh, that is beautiful. Wow. So this is the back side of the plate. First I need to get rid of the little bumps from the screws. Like that. And then we have another problem. There is some burr in the holes, and I could have avoided this by letting the CNC machine run longer in each hole or take 2 more finishing passes. And it might be that I do that in the future, but since the machining was already 10 hours, I didn't want to add that. But I really need to get rid of this burr, and since it's 20,000 holes, it's not an option to do it manually. Does look to me like the burr is kind of loose. That gave me an idea. I think maybe we need to add a finishing pass and just take the extra machine time for the next one. Because there's still burr in there, but it's less. I've been working towards this moment for such a long time. I've been scared about this. Okay, here we go. Point of no return. Oh, that looks nice. That looks nice. So the metal sheet was too long, and now I'm going to cut off the excess with the CNC machine, a little cowboy style. This cut is not critical, and I'm going to try to do it manually. This assembly is heaven and hell for me because of its complexity and because of its most important function for the tight music of the Marble Machine X. So this is going to be continued in upcoming episodes where I'm going to do some quality control and some testing of its precision. And let's see how close to perfect musical timing this thing can take us. Thank you so much for watching and see you on the next Wintergatan Wednesday.